Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this adorable, simple little animation. And the thing about this, it is fantastic as a beginner animation because we're not doing any rigging. We're just going to be using some very simple shape keys to open up this donut character's mouth, and then this ball kind of goes through. So very beginner friendly. This could potentially be your first little animation that you make in Blender. And I've actually made this tutorial before, 4 years ago, but I think it's time to do an updated version. So this is what we're going to be doing in Blender. Very simple stuff. I will be uploading the final blend file to my Patreon, so that's also in the description if you want to support the channel there. Check me out on Skillshare as well if you want to follow some of my courses, and I also do one-on-one lessons. All of that information will be in the description. So let's jump into the tutorial, and I hope you guys enjoy making this cute little animation. We have a new scene open up in Blender. Select all of your default objects and press delete. Then you're going to press Shift A on the keyboard. Under the add options, you're going to go to the mesh and just add a circle. With the circle added, tab into edit mode, or just go in there up here. And with this whole circle selected, just go E to extrude and S to scale. And let's go about that much. Then press A to select everything. Go E to extrude and extrude it up. Let's go about that much. And then in your front view, press A to select everything and go RX90 and press enter. And maybe move it down just a little bit. So now we have this circle over here. And that's going to be like our little donut creature. So what we're also going to do is we're going to go to our edge select option and deselect everything. You're going to go Shift Alt and then left click on this edge, and then this one and this one. So we have these loops selected. Then you're going to go Control B to create a bevel. Let's create one like so and roll the middle mouse button just to add an extra segment. And then left click. Go to your modifiers, add modifier, search and type in sub and get a subdivision surface. And now we have this looking nice. We're also going to press A to select everything. And we're going to go Alt N and we're just going to recalculate the outside normals. Now let's go Shift A. We're still in edit mode. We're going to add in a cube. S to scale it down. Let's go to our vertex select options, press Z and go into wireframe. Select the bottom face and go E to extrude and Z to bring it down. And then you're going to go S to scale it. And then press Control L to select the whole thing and then just go S, Y and flatten it a little bit on the Y. Select the top face and press X and delete the face. And then you could come in here, Control R, double click to add in a loop, and over here on the side, Control R, double click, and then go Control L to select the whole thing. Go to your smooth options and just smooth it out a little bit. Now we've created a very simple tooth here, and all we're going to do is we're going to go in to solid view again. Let's go G and move this up. R to rotate it, S to scale. We're just going to place a tooth underneath here. Then we're going to go Shift D to duplicate it, move it over, S to scale it down a bit, but move it up. And then select both of these, and then go Shift D to duplicate, and then go SX -1, and press enter, and then go GX and just move it over. And now we have more teeth. So now we can select these two teeth, Shift D to duplicate, Z to move them down, and then go SZ -1 and hit enter. Now we have some two bottom teeth. And then we're going to go Shift A. We're going to go to our option here, add a UV sphere. S to scale this guy down, G to move him up. And in the right view, we're just going to move it forward like so. And then go S to scale. And then go Shift D to duplicate, create another one. And this one will scale a little bit bigger to create kind of like an offset in the eyes, which looks kind of cute. So now let's go to our materials tab. Let's go new and let's call this 1. So this material 1, and let's go down to our viewport display and change this to kind of like a reddish kind of color, reddish purple. And then let's go back up, create another material. Let's call this number 2. And let's go over here, go to face select and then go Shift Alt left click to select this loop of faces, and it's the same at the back. Then go Control plus once to go to selection, and then assign that second material. And then going down to the viewport display, let's change this to more peachy kind of pink, like so, and make sure it's assigned. So now that's what we have. Then let's just select the teeth. So I'm selecting faces on all of them and go Control L, they're all active. And then go plus, new material, let's call it teeth. Let's go ahead and assign, and by default, it's white in the viewport display. And then just select both the eyes, go plus and go new, and let's call it eyes. And then assign, and in the viewport display, let's make that black. Now we're going to tab back out. We're going to right click and go shade smooth. And there we have it. At this point, you can customize it any way you want. You can reshape the teeth. You can make them bigger, smaller. The sky really is the limit. The idea here is just to have this sort of character. So we're going to go and grab this guy. We're going to go G, Z, and move him up until he's sitting on the floor. And then we're going to go Shift A. We're going to add in a plane. S to scale this plane way up. And then we're going to come in here. And this is completely up to you, but you can find a position that you like. And you can go Shift A, add in a camera. And then press 0 on your camera view with the camera active. And that's just going to go into camera view. And then press G and middle mouse button. And then just move your mouse back. And now just position your camera however you like. I'm going to go to my camera settings and change it to orthographic. And then I'm just going to use the orthographic zoom here just to go in a little bit. And this is the positioning I'm going to go with. You can choose whatever you want. I'm going to select the floor. I'm going to go and give that a material, call it floor. And under the viewport display, I'll give it a color. And then I'm going to go Shift A. I'm going to add in a UV sphere. In the front view, I'm going to go G, Z, and move that up. I'm going to go S to scale it just so it fits inside the mouth and doesn't touch the teeth. Right click, go shade smooth. Let's go new material and call it ball. And in the viewport, I'll just give it like an orangey color, like so. And then let's just add some shape keys to this character here so we can do some very basic animation. So we're going to go over to our object data properties with the mesh selected. Let's go plus to add a basis and then plus one more time. Let's add a key and call it mouth. And let's just tab into edit mode. And all we're simply going to do is select a face on this donut, Control L, and then go Control I to inverse the selection and press H to hide. So now we've hidden all the other elements, and let's just go to our vertex select option. And in wireframe, let's just press C to get the selection tool and select all of these middle verts, like so. And then you can go S Shift Y, so S Shift Y, and just scale this down. And let's make it something about that big. You can go as small as you want. And we have the mouth, by the way, that's the key we have selected when we're doing that, not the basis. And then we can go Alt H to bring back the other elements. And if you want to, it's simpler in wireframe. Just select a vertex on each one of these teeth. Control L to select it, and then go G, Z, and just bring it down. S to scale it a bit, something like that should be fine. And then do the same at the bottom. Just bring these guys up, like so. We still have the mouth shape key here selected. And that's all you have to do for that. So now let's go back into object mode. Let's select this sphere and go G, Y, and move it out of the view for now. So if you grab your character, you now have in object mode this mouth slider you can use to open and close the mouth. Leave it at 0 for now and then click plus again. Let's create another key and call it blink. With this one active, tab into edit mode and then select these two eyes. S, Z, and flatten them on the Z, and then S, Y, and flatten them on the Y. Just to create a bit of a blink. Tab back out, and now we have a blink, like so. So now, if you want to animate this, let's come to the frames here, make it 120 frames. Let's come to frame 1, and let's go into our camera view, and let's make sure the sphere is back on the Y a little bit so we don't see it. And on frame 1, with the sphere active, we're going to press I to insert a keyframe. Then we're going to come to frame 120. And we're going to go G, Y, and move it along all the way through to the back over here, and then press I to insert a keyframe. So now we have these two keyframes. We're going to select both of them, and we're going to press T. And let's make this linear on the animation. So now our ball here is going to go through the mouth, like so. So now we're going to grab our character. We're going to go over here to our mouth. And let's come about here. And in frame 36, what we'll do is we'll come here with this value of 0 and click on the keyframe. And then what we'll do, we'll come like to frame 30, and frame 30, we'll come here and give it a value of 1 and click on the keyframe. So the mouth is closed from 0 to 30, and then it opens up. And let's keep it open to 90. And so I'm going to grab this end keyframe here, go Shift D to duplicate it, bring it to 90, like so. And then come to frame 100, and frame 100, let's bring this value up to 1 again and click on a keyframe. So now we have a value of 1, 0, and the mouth stays open, and then back to a value of 1. And that gives us the animation here of the character opening up its mouth as the sphere comes through. How cool is that? And you can always grab the character and you can adjust these keyframe positions so it opens or closes later or sooner, completely up to you. But just go ahead, try it out, experiment, and have fun. And let's come over here to keying, and let's change the keyframe to maybe like a blue one for now. And then let's come to frame 10, and on frame 10 with the blink here, let's give it a value of 0 and click on the keyframe here. Then let's move up 1 frame and take it up to 1. Click on the keyframe again, and let's move up 2 frames. Bring it back down to 0 and click on here to add a keyframe. So now we have this little blink, and we can just grab these 3 little keyframes and go Shift D and duplicate them. Shift D to duplicate and randomly distribute them across the animation. So he just blinks every now and then, like so. Very, very simple. So now we have a finished animation. At this point, go to your render engine, change it to cycles, and then go to your max render samples here and change it to 50. And then you're going to go Shift A and add in a light, make it an area light, bring it up, and then under your light properties, give it a value of 200. Increase the size, and then if you go to camera view and you go Z and go rendered, you can see this is what we have. So now let's select our character. Let's go to our materials. Let's get the first material and make that sort of a reddish kind of color. Let's grab the second material, make it more like peachy pink, like this. There we go. Then let's grab the eyes and let's make them black, and let's come to the roughness and bring that down. And then let's select the floor, and we added that floor material earlier. Let's just make it like a color as well. So I'm going to go with something maybe like this. There we go, that looks good. And then let's select the ball, and under the base color here, let's make it orange, like so. And now that's all looking good. You can always grab your light. You can now duplicate the light, and you can always adjust the strength of that new light and rotate it and just position it till you have something that you like. 2 simple lights in this case will do fine. So now you can see we have our materials, we have our animation. And now if you want to render this out, you're simply going to go to your output settings, go to your output here, select the folder and select somewhere on your computer. Then change the file format to FFmpeg video. And under your encoding, you can change the container to MP4. Make sure to save, and then you can go render and render this animation out to your selected destination. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial, and I will be uploading this one to my Patreon. So all of that's in the description, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.